2. Your niche may influence your decision. Apart from everything I have pinpointed previously, there is something very important to consider before becoming a freelancer: your niche. I have decided to write about it separately because I feel it's somehow the buzzword of the moment on social media, making it common for teachers to see sentences along these lines. Find your niche. Find out what triggers this niche. Become an authority in your niche. Sell something at higher costs in your niche. Be rich finding your niche. It is the same rhetoric all over the place. So, first things first. What is a niche? A niche is a part of the market you work on. So, for us teachers, a niche could be defined by a specific group of students you can focus on. Some examples in this area are exam preparation, English for doctors, English for lawyers, etc. You will be specialized in the submarket, therefore, able to sell courses at higher prices for certain niches with specific needs, combined with possible students with more openness to invest in their development. I do believe that if you are indeed an authority in this area, you should definitely focus on this target market. You have an established name in the market, students will come to you willing to pay more for your expertise, negotiations would be theoretically easier. Word of mouth has definitely worked pretty well for me in the past few years. What if you are not actually an authority in the field you want to work on? Can you simply choose to be one? My answer is it depends. It depends on how much you are interested in investing in your development in this particular niche. For instance, you want to be a specialist in legal English because you think lawyers can afford more expensive courses. But are you familiar with the legal reality in your country, possibly outside your country? You're a language teacher, not a specialist in this area. So, this very technical language is not your strength, which does not mean you cannot become more familiarized with time. If that is your wish, you will need to research and study this segment for a while. Talk to people, take courses, read books in order to understand this niche better. As time goes by, you feel more equipped with the language these professionals are expecting to have from an expert language teacher. You will then be an authority because you have both skills this niche is looking for: language awareness and the expertise in the segment you have chosen to work with. That is fantastic. Then I ask you, how much time would you need to invest so as to have the expertise in such chosen field? That certainly won't happen overnight. So, choosing a niche today has more to do with what you do well. If you're not a specialist in any particular field, you can simply choose a niche and start saying you are an authority, expecting people to buy that. You don't choose to be an authority, you become an authority from experience. So, what I said by it depends is that unless you're already an experienced teacher in a particular niche, you can't get there just because marketing people are telling you to. And the fallacy is always accompanied by some sort of terrorism. Or else you are not going to succeed. You are not going to stand out. Yada, yada, yada. You can certainly become an authority with time, hard work, and patience. By now, you should have to settle with what you like doing and who you like teaching better. So, who are the regular students that teachers usually work with? Young adults, professionals in companies, kids, teenagers, people who need to travel soon, people who want to learn a language for fun. These are some of the regular people who come to schools looking for language classes. If you have been working for institutions for a while now, that is probably the people's profile you're used to dealing with. That is the type of contact you have available to start teaching private lessons. These are the people who know you, who trust you, who like you, who would easily buy lessons from you. So let's get back to the question. Is freelance teaching for you? Well, if your favorite kind of students are young kids, it would be a bit harder to work in this niche without having a place to teach their classes. Rarely would kids engage long enough for their learning to be efficient in online lessons. The pandemic has shown us how hard it is to motivate young kids to be working alone from home. Also, not many parents would invest a high amount of money in online classes from a private teacher. Kids are active, they work much better in groups, preferably face to face, which means, unless you have room to accommodate a group of kids so as to keep on working with them, chances are that freelance teaching would present you with some extra work apart from teaching. Again, you may have brilliant ideas in this niche, and online teaching can work out well for you, or may even be doing so already. Fantastic! That is the beauty of freelance teaching freedom. However, let's say you love working with adults. Professionals who have already tried to learn a language before, haven't achieved their aims yet, and are willing to have classes in a different format from the ones offered in language institutions. Well, if that is what moves you, I guess there is plenty of room for you to start your freelance career. I myself work in this field, and I have been in this segment way before online possibilities. Before the advent of online platforms, I would work in companies, my marketing was word of mouth, and here I am, freelance teaching 20 years later, sharing what I have learned with you. All in all, what must be taken into account at this point of your career is your heart. What does it tell you today? What drives you more deeply? Forget by now what social media are telling you. Forget about those unrealistic dreams of getting rich, selling thousands of courses, working on the beach, and so on. At least by now. It does not mean that these dreams can't come true in the future. What you should do now is think about your career in practical terms.